Welcome to the Boundless Bible. My name is David Shapiro.
Hey, I'm Javi Marquez.
And I'm Jason Holloway. Quick questions with David. All right, this is getting more and more ridiculous. All right,
I love it.
David, that's your question today.
I should say, I love the fact that the bigger I am, the higher pitched my song goes, my intro songs.
Yeah,
that's the point.
So, okay, the question of the day. Do you prefer the
Next
Old
time we're
Testament?
going whistle notes.
There you go.
We're going Mariah Carey whistle notes.
Oh,
Do we prefer the Old Testament or the New Testament, and why?
That's an awesome question.
I am not going first.
You're not going first?
I will for
Okay.
this one.
Yeah.
For me, it is Old Testament, and not just because I was born Orthodox Jewish.
Oh, really?
You know what? When you look at the Old Testament, from Genesis to Exodus to the prophets, it is just filled with incredible prophecy.
Yeah.
But more than that, it's probably my love of archaeology and going back in time and just thinking about what life was like.
Totally.
And putting myself in the shoes of people that lived 4,000, 5,000 years ago and what life would have been like and what they went through. And, we look at it today in modern world and we go, okay, they were in Egypt and they left Egypt and they saw the Red Sea split and they went into the desert, and we kind of have this thought of what it would be like. But realizing how they did that, they didn't have a car. They didn't have, rolling luggage. It's just amazing to really kind of take myself back to the Old Testament. And then when you layer it with just how much, Jesus appears
in the Old Testament.
Right.
Yeah.
I just, by far, it's my number one.
Yeah.
You want to go? All right. I'm Old Testament too. Believe it or not. I find it so fascinating. And the more I learn about the Jewish culture, the ancient Jewish culture, the Hebrew language, the numerology, the genealogy.
That's cool.
Like the more you learn about those things, it is a super unending well. And the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And there's just no end to it. From learning about the historical parts, like you said, the architectural or the archaeological parts, just all of it's so fascinating to me. And then it adds so much more context to the New Testament to know the Old Testament that it's almost like
agreed.
It's like trying to watch the third part of a trilogy without watching the first and the second. It's like you need to watch the first and the second and the prequel to know fully what you're talking about, and I'm just so overwhelmed.
Genesis, the prequel.
Yeah, right. That'd be cool. Well, it would be empty because it would be nothing. So I think we all know that story. No, and look, and then you start talking about the the ideological learnings and the eschatological. Like it's just, oh man, it's mind blowing. I love it.
I thought maybe one of us would be someone in the middle, but I'm Old Testament as well. I love them both. I'll say I love them both.
You're such a people pleaser.
Yeah, I am. I just can't. I just can't make it happen. I would say the Old Testament only because some of my favorite books are from the Old Testament.
Mostly the prophets, right?
Like, huh?
Most of the prophets, right?
Prophets. No, but Psalms and just
Ecclesiastes
just
and
the
Psalms
wisdom.
are like cool.
Ecclesiastes
Proverbs.
is one of my favorites. Actually.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just the wisdom and it's just there's the truthfulness of it. But and it's also like whatever you guys are saying, just kind of like the history, right? And just kind of the talking about Egypt, talking about this kind of things that's just happening. And the biggest thing I think for me is the story aspect of
you love
all
that part,
these,
right?
and
Yeah,
just
you
kind of
say that
like
a lot. Yeah.
we talk about Samson and just kind of him. His strength and all the things he
the
did.
parting of the Red Sea,
the parting. It's
David
just like
and
big,
Goliath
grand stories, maybe.
Daniel, the lion's den,
and I think that's what it is. That it is for me. Not to say the New Testament doesn't have that. It has a lot of that, and is also very good with a lot of things that I love. But I would say I would lean towards more of the Old Testament because of the stories, and it makes it really. I don't know. It just takes me back to the beginning when I was first picking up the Bible. It was the Old Testament where I started. And that kind of led me moving forward to the New Testament.
I will say if the wisdom books weren't in the Old Testament, it would be a much closer. For me, it would be a much closer.
I'll give you that.
New Testament.
Yeah, because the new then it would be New Testament for me because the wisdom books for me are like the clincher. They're when I read the wisdom books, when I read Proverbs and not Proverbs, Proverbs wisdom book, Proverbs,
Psalms.
Yeah.
and Ecclesiastes,
Ecclesiastes,
and
yeah.
Song of and Book of Job, or what's
Yeah,
the other
Job
one?
is a wisdom book.
And so
Yeah.
when I read those, like the truth value that comes through those, like it's so present tense.
Yeah.
It's so present
I love
tense.
it. I love that about
Like
it.
I can't even explain to somebody. If
Every
you
time
read
it happens, every time you read something,
every
you go, wait a
si-
minute, this is practical today.
every
How?
single time. It's the most humanity thing I've ever like laid my eyes on. It's 4,000 years old.
I mean, New Testament too is right.
Well, so
It's
that's the thing.
2,000 years ago,
Well, that's the
but-
thing. So then, that's why I'm saying. So then you get into the New Testament. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
all like,
Yeah.
man, these people, 2,000 years ago, were doing the same stuff we're doing today. They
So
were
good.
screwing up the same things.
Yeah.
They were messing up the same things. They were being forgiven the same way. They were given the same grace the
Yeah.
same way.
Do you want the greatest date ever?
Okay.
Take your spouse out for sunset and Psalms.
Sunset and Psalms.
Go and watch the
Okay.
sunset while reading Psalms. And it is just a beautiful thing. You
Nice.
add the two together, it's a gorgeous date. Have a picnic and do sunset and Psalms.
Which
That's a great
Psalms?
idea.
Which Psalms?
The first one?
Every one of them.
Okay.
Every one of them.
Every one. And you're not allowed to go in until it's done.
Oh, that's a long time.
It'll be sunrise at that point.
I was,
No.
I was gonna say, is there 130
Sunrise and Psalms.
130 some songs or something?
You
like
don't
that?
know my wife, do you?
Yeah, we'd both be very
Yeah,
hungry before.
she'll knock out about chapter 2. Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for your time, as always, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Later.